Hello, everyone, and come along on this journey with me for this incredible story of a woman named Jennifer Skiles. She lives in the Karns area. You may remember I told you about the fact that we were going to be doing this story on 10 News today. Well, we did this story, so now I can share more about it. Of course, I'd love for you to go online to WBIR.com and check it out, but let's go through this. So it's a long story, again, full of heartbreak and grief, but also hope and new beginnings. So this all started when Jennifer Skiles was adopted at the age of 3. She was born in Germany, adopted to a U.S. family, and lived the majority of her childhood here. And when she was 18, her adoptive father died. And then later at age 25, her adoptive mother died. It was a lot of grief and heartbreak in one period of time. And another thing that she struggled with is she was abused by her adoptive father starting at the age of 12. So she had to wrestle with all of this. During that time, she also found out more about her adoption and tried to learn more about her birth mother. It wasn't until after the death of her adoptive mother, though, that she decided to go on this journey to find her birth mother. She had her name and she had the last place she had lived, which was in Texas. So she sort of tracked her down, found her, did an internet search she paid $29.99 for, found where she lived at an apartment complex in Texas, sent a letter actually to the complex manager, who then passed it along to her mother, Cheryl. And then about 2 weeks later, she gets a call, an answering machine message. And Cheryl says, "I know who you are. I want you to give me a call." And that started a brand new relationship. It blossomed from there. They spent many wonderful years getting to know one another. Once again, she learned more about her mother, her adoption, why her mother felt that she needed to sort of get her out of a bad situation when she was very young in Germany. And by the way, she goes into that a bit more in her book, which I will tell you about in just a little bit. But sadly, 12 years after she met her mother, Cheryl, and they got to reconnect and reestablish this relationship, her mother, Cheryl, who was living in Montana at the time, died in a car crash. And she was just months away from moving to Knoxville, where they could have built their relationship up even more. So yet another tragedy that she faced in her life. But before her mother died, she asked about sort of the one missing piece in her life, and that was about her father. What she discovered about her father is that the two, her mother and father, met when they were both stationed at Fort Dix in New Jersey. And they had one romantic weekend at the Hotel Chelsea in New York and then went their separate ways. Jennifer's mother, Cheryl, shipped off to Germany with a secret baby on board. That's right. She never told her father that she was pregnant, and the two never spoke again. And so after Cheryl died, Jennifer thought, I need to find my father. It's the one last missing piece of my life. So she did a little internet sleuthing. She did ancestry DNA, found some distant family members. She thought all she knew, by the way, was her father's name and that he had once lived in Rhode Island. Well, she got some hits in Rhode Island, looked up the last name, and ended up finding him through family members, believe it or not. And so he gave her a call. And by the way, she has a picture of herself on the phone during that first phone call. She said it felt like coming home. Her dad's name is Paul Leonardo. This was roughly 4 years ago when they first were able to meet. The first time they met in person, by the way, was at McGee Tyson Airport. It was a lovely reunion. They actually captured it on video. And since then, they have sort of traded visits. He's visited her, she's visited him. They have grown very, very close. They talk almost every day. They've discovered more about families and how they're alike. They both are left-handed, share the same blood type. Jennifer now knows she has Italian heritage. So all of this wonderful news that she's been able to sort of glean from their relationship in the last few years. And the best part is that just recently, at the end of January, Paul Leonardo got to officially adopt Jennifer. Of course, he was not on her original birth certificate. The father was blank on that birth certificate. So in order to sort of make their relationship official, they wanted to do the adoption. So now they are officially connected. They did do a DNA test, by the way, so they know it is all official. And they are so excited to just continue that relationship. And believe it or not, I've only scratched the surface with this story. If you would like to read more about it, Jennifer has written a book. It is called Vault of Treasures. You can either get it on Barnes & Noble or you can go online to Amazon. And again, we hope you'll watch more of this story online right now at WBIR.com.